Cigar Think Tank. It's a special episode today, so it's going to be completely different than anything that we've done before. Today we were contacted to do a tribute today, so as you can see in the intro, it's a little different. And we're not really going to talk about cigars today. We're going to talk about a good cause. Really, what Cigars for Service Members is going to do for a local hero that unfortunately passed.
Absolutely, yeah. It's just something special we're going to do. Pretty excited about it, excited to help out, and couldn't be a better cause. And, well, we got some people here today to talk about it.
Yeah, so we actually have, we're here today as a tribute to Brandon Coates, Deputy Sheriff in Orange County here in Orlando. So we were contacted by one of his friends, Jason. We're actually going to have on the show with us here in just a few minutes. We're going to bring these guys in. We're going to tell some stories, kind of talk about, really what you guys can do to help us out and to help out Brandon and his family and the foundation they've set up. So thank you guys for tuning in today. Hang on just a minute. When we get back, we're going to sit down and talk a little more. All right, so here we are back. So I know we talked about before, we're doing a special episode today, a tribute episode. So really what happened for us is we got an email, so a little Facebook message came into us from Jason, who watches our podcast, so gave viewers of the podcast, and he sent out to us really asking us to help in this situation. And the ironic part was we were talking about it. We were at a holiday party.
Yeah, we were at a holiday party that night and filming a podcast. We were talking about it. We were talking about the fact that Brandon had been a Marine in Iraq, which is about as dangerous as it gets, and especially the time that he was there. It's not, a different war at that point. And, I don't know, just as a fellow veteran, it touched me a lot.
Yeah, it did. So I know that, you saw the message come in. We were driving home, and we talked on the phone for about an hour about, just some ideas of what we could do, and we definitely wanted to be on board with it. So we went ahead and contacted Jason back, who happens to be here with us today. We couldn't have done this without, bringing him on board and really getting more of
Jason's idea.
It was his idea. I mean, I'm going to give him all the credit. We're just kind of helping out with it. And really for us, after talking with you, kind of got more of a personal connection for us, since we didn't know Brandon personally. We really wanted to have kind of that personal appeal so that we can, relay that to the people that are going to be able to help us out, and help us out with the benefit and, raising money for his family and the foundation they've set up. I mean, that's really the point of all this, and really want to help them out and really bring light to the story, to people not just here in Central Florida, to everyone out there. And I think that's really what matters the most.
Absolutely.
So, I'll kind of turn it over to you a little bit, give us a little, let us know who Brandon was, from someone who worked with him, was with him, was a friend. Like, that's really what we didn't have the opportunity to get to know him like that.
Yeah, well, first off, I really just want to say thank you guys. I really appreciate this. I know a lot of other people appreciate it. Like I was telling you guys before, you guys were one of the first people I thought of when I was trying to figure out something to do. I'm a fan of your podcasts, and I know a lot of people have been helped out through the Cigars for Service members, and I knew you guys would probably be willing to do something, so I really appreciate it.
No, thank you.
Also, I want to say, there was a lot of people that were very, very close to Brandon, friends and family and coworkers. A lot of people that were a lot closer than me, and I was by no means his best friend, but I definitely called him a brother from working for him. And I'm just glad that I'm here to be able to represent, him and some of his family and friends and get the word out about this.
Thank you. Thank you for coming on with us. And, I think the biggest part is that, and I know you've told us from everything we've heard, he was the type of guy that everyone just liked. Everyone enjoyed being around. And, that's what makes it even harder, and in any situation, but especially this. I mean, we've all had times in our life where we've gone through and unfortunately, I've had someone that we've worked with, cared about, that, untimely, goes on and passes, and that's just something that's hard for everyone, but everyone can understand that.
Absolutely, and it's not something that gets easier, the more it happens, or the worse thing. I mean, obviously, different backgrounds experience it more than others do, and being in law enforcement, just like being in the military, is, of course, that going in every day, which I think makes it a little bit more, more important to think about, more, because we kind of forget that a lot. That everybody, that experiences that, and everybody goes through that. We don't think about it because it doesn't. Thank God it doesn't happen too often. And
well, and I think that's
story when it
right. And I
does.
think we take things for granted, and I think we're happy to be able to do this too, because for us, we started the Cigars for Service Members Foundation as something for us to be able to give back to people, give back to the people that deserve it the most. So we started out with the care packages and things, and long term, we really wanted it to be more of a foundation ourselves to where we could help out in situations like this. Obviously we're just starting out too, so but this is well ahead of when we thought we'd be doing this, but it's the right thing to do.
Such a great cause.
It's a great cause, and I think from everything we've heard, from the support just that we've seen from the retailers that we already deal with, and
all the different manufacturers have jumped on board already, and everything like that, which I think is pretty cool. But one thing, it tells a little bit more. I know that just about everybody in the Orange County area, the greater Orange County area, has read about it or heard about it on TV, but we always see it and hear it through the eyes of the reporter who's talking about it, or through, and you get a lot of the, the sugar-coated stuff and things like that. And I know a lot of people even watched the memorial service that didn't even get to attend. I know I did. I watched the memorial service, and
me too.
But again, you only get it one perspective when you hear it that way. And I think it'd be cool to, Matt and I will kind of shut up, and it'd be kind of cool to hear just the perspective of somebody who, I know you weren't his best friend, but again, he was your brother, and you spent a lot of time with him, and talk about him and his family a little bit and things like that.
One thing Matt said earlier was that everybody liked Brandon, and if you were to talk about Brandon to anybody in the sheriff's office, nobody ever had anything bad to say about him. He was one of those guys that he went to work and he clocked in and he worked his entire shift, and he wouldn't stop working until it was time to go home. And I remember the day, the tragedy happened, and we were doing something that I didn't want to do. Supervisor wanted us to do something. I just kept complaining about it, and Brandon just kept telling me to shut up. He's like, "Hey, we're getting paid to work. We need to work." It's just, that's how he was, and he was always there for people, always there to back you up, always there to help you, always there to give you advice. And he was extremely important to a lot of people and meant a lot to a lot of people. And he did a lot of good for this country and a lot of good for this community and for his friends and family.
Yeah, that's great. The consummate Marine there, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
As a Navy guy and an Army guy, it's hard to say that, but the Marines every now and again, they produce some quality people. But I think obviously in this case, Brandon exemplifies Semper Fi, and really is what you think when you think of a Marine. It's somebody like that. When you think of when you think of the kids, dressing up as firemen for holidays and things like that, that's who they're emulating, and I think it's there's not enough of them, and it's sad that we lost one of them, but hopefully more people can understand about it.
I think one of my favorite memories after everything happened was actually the day of the funeral. In law enforcement, a lot of times the community doesn't always appreciate us, doesn't always support us, and law enforcement gets a bad rap sometimes.
I'd say most of the time.
Yeah, most of the time they think all we're doing is out there writing tickets or something. Yeah. And I remember the funeral procession from the church to the actual cemetery. There was a lot of people up on the 408 that stopped their cars and were saluting or had their hands over their hearts, and people had signs and flags and all kinds of things. And it was nice to see that some people do care and really do appreciate it. And a lot of people, you see the stories on the news about soldiers killed in Iraq, or firefighters killed in a fire, or law enforcement officers killed in the line of duty, and it's kind of, you don't understand it. They just kind of see it, okay, yeah, another one. But
it's a number.
It's just a number, yeah. And it was nice to see a lot of people really understood, hey, this is a big deal. Brandon gave his life for a lot of people.
Yeah, and he clearly, with his history of service, had done that. Obviously you can only do it once, but he put himself in a position where he risked it for like you said, his country first, and then his community, and there's a lot of people like that. And
I think that's remarkable. And that's why we really want to highlight the people that do. and give them their credit.
Absolutely.
And unfortunately we're sitting here having this conversation after the fact. I'd much rather it be all sitting together having this conversation as a group, but that's what happens in life. And if just by doing this we can have his story affect one other person and make a little bit more good and make someone on the street think twice when they see someone in law enforcement drive by and think, wow, they appreciate.
As this is a relatively somber and memorial style podcast, one thing that we're doing, and the big thing really, and we're going to talk about, is we're going to throw a celebration for Brandon. I promise we won't be sitting around like this.
We will not. And I think that's why we want to do this now. And I think that's really, it's like in any process. You sit around and you talk, but then you want to celebrate the life. You want to celebrate all the good things that he did. You want to celebrate everything. So there'll be more information to come. But right now, towards the end of February, we're going to be holding an event, basically just a big party, I'm going to say, at Corona's. So the Corona Cigar Company in downtown Orlando. Jeff's been a huge supporter and is really on board with us and helping out with this, as well as our other Cigars for Service member supporters.
Yeah, everybody's. Like you said before, everybody's jumped right in.
Right, at Old Times, Harris Cigar and Brew, all these guys, even down in Miami. Our friends down at Let's Cigars are going to be helping us out with this event. So it's definitely raised attention. Not just here in Central Florida, we're really getting the message out there. So because of that, we're going to be having a big party. All the information will come out there, but we're going to get together, have a silent auction. We're going to have some autographed cigar boxes, some humidors, all kinds of things for people to come in.
A bunch of stuff.
Still
getting more stuff, so if somebody out there has got something.
Yeah, anyone out there who wants to donate, you'll be able to hit us up on the website. We'll get you in contact with the right people. We'll take care of you. So I think overall that's what the point of this is. And we're going to pull everyone together. And all of the money from that, just so everyone understands.
You want to kind of talk about that?
Yeah, is going to go to the foundation that Brendan's family set up. So, if you want to just give a little information about that.
There's just a memorial foundation set up at a local credit union. All the proceeds will go to his fund to help out his family and his wife through this difficult time. So I think it'll be awesome. Like I said, if anybody has anything that they'd like to donate, a box of cigars, samplers, anything cigar-related memorabilia, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, and on that same note, thank you for saying that. We're going to have some other things too for people that we're working on that'll be non-cigar related. So so it'll be an event for everyone. We're hoping to have some gift certificates and things to restaurants and some other stuff too. So there's things like that we're really working on. We're going to bring it all together, have a big party, celebrate, just bring everyone together. That's a perfect location, downtown Orlando in Orange County. And we'll go from there. But we appreciate your guys' support. Thank you, Jason, for bringing this to us. We do really, we're glad that we can help out. I'll just put it that way. That's as easy way to sum it up as anything. But, well, like I said, check out the website for more information. This is a time where you're going to get all that information right there at the bottom of the screen. You'll see where to email for information and stuff about the event. On Facebook, hit us up. If you haven't friend requested us, do, so that you can get the updates. We'll send that out to everyone, pass it on, and we'll really go from there. But I think that's going to kind of wrap up today's podcast.
Absolutely.
This is, like I said, this is a little different today, but we just wanted to get this message out there, and really bring light to an unfortunate situation, and hopefully have a little good come from it. That's all you can ask for. But Jason, I definitely want to say thank you to you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for
very, very much.
Thanks for coming and talking today. We appreciate it.
It looks like Matt here doesn't have his drink, so if you would do so
I'll let you fill in for me today.
Our
ceremonial cheers. So to Cigar Think Tank and Cigars for Service members.
Absolutely.